What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I was initially going to be sharing all of the stats of the SMGs, just like I did recently with assault rifles for Black Ops 7. However, we did get a brand new dev talk with some very important bits of information I wanted to cover, and this is a little more time sensitive, so I will be pushing that SMG episode back till tomorrow. Today, we're going to be talking about some aim assist adjustments coming up, some weapon balancing, and a little bit more, but keep in mind we're just focusing on the multiplayer side of things, as well as just a quick mention, Endgame is going to be available for everyone starting tomorrow without having to complete the campaign. So diving right in, let's first talk about some weapon balancing adjustments we can expect to see, keeping in mind they didn't give us too many specifics, but just a general overview of what they're going to be targeting, and one big thing is SMGs. And Matt mentioned we're going to be seeing an across-the-board buff for SMGs, as well as some targeted adjustments toward recoil attachments. So it seems like they're going to be making the recoil attachments a little bit more powerful on SMGs, so that at least with the right attachments, you'll be able to stretch out your ranges a bit more effectively. And that sounds great to me. You guys would have seen it today with the SMG episode, but essentially in that episode, which I still plan on uploading tomorrow, I mean, unless the patch comes tomorrow, then it'll be overwritten. They didn't give us an exact timeline on it, but with the SMGs in their current state in the game, I do feel they're just a little bit on the weak side, and the assault rifles have really taken over. And it's not that the SMGs are like bad at really close ranges. They're actually quite good at very, very close ranges. It's just anything beyond that, they're really not good at all. And usually there's a little more versatility in the mid-range with SMGs. And my experience so far has been that most of the assault rifles can hold their own just fine right up close and personal, while completely dominating at mid to longer ranges versus SMGs. And there's just not enough overlap in that mid-range outside of with the Dravik. The Dravik is the one exception that I think is actually pretty good all around. So I am happy to see that we're expecting some adjustments there. Next, something they hinted at is some potential buffs to the marksman rifle category and the sniper rifle category, but he was clear to state that they don't have any specifics laid out yet. It's just something they're monitoring right now. But essentially the way he worded it is they're looking to make them a little more present without being overpowered in the game, which to me signals that they're looking at some potential buffs, but very small buffs to these. And then finally, when it comes to shotguns, they once again mentioned that they're basically just monitoring things at this point. They don't have any solidified plans, but from the sounds of how he worded things with shotguns, we may be expecting some slight nerfs in the shotgun department. And I'll be honest, I've been so focused on content, I haven't had time to even touch shotguns yet. I've been primarily just focusing on like the SMGs, assault rifles, a little bit of LMG and marksman rifle as well. So I don't really have much of an opinion on this at this point, but I'm curious to see what happens when it comes to shotguns as well as sniper rifles down the road. But we'll just have to keep an eye out for that because, like I said, these are just things that they're currently monitoring and they don't have any solidified plans there. Unlike with SMGs, it sounds like they do have a solid plan for that. So I'm expecting updates to those coming sooner. So there we go, that's the weapon balancing. Next, let's talk about aim assist a little bit. And the first thing I wanted to point out here is I did make an aim assist breakdown video a handful of days ago where I was testing rotational aim assist strength, and in that I was only looking at left stick input and comparing it to Black Ops 6. And what I found with that is left stick input will still activate rotational aim assist. However, that rotational aim assist is roughly 50% weaker than Black Ops 6. Now with that, that's only when left stick input is present. And I'll be honest, I did skim over or just miss entirely the aim assist section in the launch blog for the game. They did specify some new behavior. And Matt also brought this up on Twitter. He quote tweeted me here and basically just confirmed that what I tested was accurate. However, I was missing a detail on this, so I was planning on revisiting, and that's what we're going to be doing here. What he mentioned is they now have a minimum and maximum rotational aim assist strength, instead of just turning it on or off like they had before. And the way it works now is if you're only using your left stick, you get the minimum strength, which I've established is cut in half compared to what we're used to in previous Call of Duty games. However, they do scale the strength up from that minimum value based on how well directionally you are tracking your target with the right stick. So if you are appropriately tracking in the right direction with the right stick and actually aiming at the enemy player rather than just letting rotational aim assist do all that for you, you're going to get more rotational aim assist to help you out in those cases. Now, I have been trying to think of a really solid way to test this reliably and repeatably, but there's just too many variables at play that without any sort of macros, which I don't want to risk using any macros even just for testing purposes. I just fear even if it's a small chance, there is a chance that that gets picked up as cheating. So without using any macros, I don't really have any solid testing methods to really show this off properly, but this is something you can definitely feel if you're looking for it. If you're strafing and also moving your right stick in the direction of the enemy player, it is fairly sticky. Like, it's not doing all the aim for you, and you can definitely overcompensate or undercompensate here, and you'll end up way off target. So what you're seeing here is me actively trying to aim at the target while also strafing. So there's definitely rotational aim assist there, and it's helping me. But at the end of the day, it is me that's keeping myself on the target. And now that we've had about a week with the game, I've definitely settled in quite well with the aim assist now, and I actually really like where it's at. My only concern has always been here that if they make aim assist too weak relative to what people normally expect with Call of Duty, I do fear that may push a lot of the casual audience away that sort of rely on that and now suddenly can't hit anything. And regardless of whether or not you think that should be the case, at the end of the day, you don't want a mass exodus of casual players, because that's a huge portion of the player base as well. So what they mentioned in this dev talk is they're generally quite happy with where aim assist is at right now. However, they will be making some very nuanced adjustments here to slightly improve aim assist over range, he mentioned. So I don't know if that means like at longer ranges or just at various ranges, there's going to be some tweaks here. And he also mentioned this change will be coming in the lead up to Season 1. So this will be before the Season 1 update. And just a reminder, Season 1 is coming on December 4th. So this could come as early as tomorrow or perhaps sometime next week, but no later than that. And if I had to guess, we're probably getting the SMG adjustments on that same update. So I'm curious to see what they do here. From the sounds of this, they're definitely not like reverting aim assist back to how strong it used to be, but it does look like we're just going to be getting a very slight buff from where we're currently at the beginning of Black Ops 7. So there we go, that's aim assist. Now let's talk about spawns a little bit. They did mention we are going to be seeing some spawn tuning with Season 1, and they're primarily going to be focusing on hardpoint, team deathmatch, and free-for-all spawns. And that all sounds great to me. In my experience, especially in Team Deathmatch style modes, the spawns really need some work there because the flow on Team Deathmatch is just, it feels almost random. Like, it just sort of scatters everybody all over the map, and there's really not much discernible map flow because of that, so happy to see some adjustments there. I'm sure one single update's not going to totally fix spawns, and as always, I expect multiple spawn tuning passes to take place over the coming weeks and potentially even months. But I'm hoping for at least some very notable improvements here with the Season 1 update. Now, after that, another gripe I've had so far with Black Ops 7, and I've seen quite a few other people with this as well, the drone pod field upgrade. I've just felt like it's a little too impactful as a field upgrade. Like, as a score streak, I think it would be fine, but as a field upgrade, I feel like it just interrupts the flow of a match far more than it really should. And it's the biggest reason that I'm using cold-blooded on all of my classes at this stage. They did mention they are planning on toning back the drone pods a little bit. They mentioned they have various things that they're looking at changing, but it seems like they haven't really committed to a change yet. But one of the potential changes here would be to reduce the number of drones that come out of each drone pod or the speed that they move. And they also mentioned there will be some targeted hardcore damage adjustments when it comes to the drone pod, because I believe right now they're just far too lethal in hardcore. And then after that, they did also mention there are some buffs coming to some other equipment in the game as well, specifically the point turret, the cluster grenade, as well as the needle drone. And then finally, the last multiplayer related thing they mentioned in this dev talk is the minimap. They are going to be increasing the default minimap coverage, and that's excellent. I mean, of course it's excellent. It's like this dev talk is going through my feedback video point by point and addressing pretty much every bit of feedback that I provided in that video. So obviously, I'm really happy to see this dev talk. I'm happy to see that we've got some adjustments coming to most of the areas that at least early on stood out to me as potential problem areas. And I really hope this is the kind of communication and the kind of updates we can expect to see going forward with the game. But of course, these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about all of these points in those comments down below. Like with aim assist, for instance. Are you guys happy to see that they're going to be slightly improving aim assist from where it's currently at? Do you guys think they should take it even farther, or do you think it's perfect as it is right now? Maybe do you even think it's too strong in its current state? Just let me know all of your thoughts on that, as well as anything else we covered in today's video down below. If you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.